Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. We've got a wonderful show. We've got Kurt Pate, we've got Carrie Coon. We're gonna go head down to Garnett and spend some time with Dr. Gardner, and then we're gonna wrap it up with a great hardy grub you're gonna really love. So hey, go get yourself a cup of coffee, come on back and join us for Better Horses TV.
What do you get when you bring together one of the biggest names in veterinary medicine with one of the most caring and committed teams of horse health experts in the industry? You get a vaccine portfolio known for its quality and safety, a pharmaceutical line you can rely on to help manage pain and support performance. You get the products, programs, and people of Merck Animal Health.
Hi, this is Pastor Frank from Open Range Fellowship, and I've been reading through the Gospel of John, just pouring through it. But in verse 6, Jesus says to his disciples, he says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." And I was thinking, what the way to where? The way to heaven. And he says, "I'm the truth." Well, is that absolute truth or subjective truth like the world leans on so hard right now? My truth is my truth, yours is yours. No, it's absolute. And then he finally ends up with, and I am the life. The life. We're talking about eternal life here, okay? If you're worried about that, just pray along with me right now. Lord, I come to you with all of my junk. I'm laying down every broken thing that I've ever done, every horrible thought I've ever had, and I hand it over to you to make a mosaic out of it. Lord, I love you, I praise you, I understand you paid for my sins, you died, you rose on the third day, and I'm giving my life to you in Jesus' name. And all God's children said, amen. And I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, write me, openrangefellowship.com.
Back in the saddle and out on the trail with Ernie the horse guy, now fun will prevail. We'll meet the best horsemen under the sun. Tip our hats to the ladies, keep the good Lord number one. Ride along, sing your song, along with better horses, we're right where we belong. Faith and love from up above, the best of the good life's yet to come.
This segment is brought to you by your independent Purina dealers.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. Come down to one of my favorite places to be one of my favorite clinicians. We're here with Kurt Pate at the Ozark Spring Roundup.
Absolutely.
Really good time. Kurt, I'll tell you what, we brought guest of honor up here in the interview. What a nice horse.
Oh man, so this is, I think I just finished my third ride on him, and he was great.
And you brought up the fact that it was a great deal because it was different than a lot of colt startings where you just go and ride it, get in there for about an hour, and that's it.
Yeah.
It meant a lot to you because you got to see this horse progress.
Yeah, it's a lot more fair for the horse, and then for me, and this is a fun one because I got to start him in the big arena and get some movement on him. I got him rode the first day in the big arena and kind of moved him out. Then we came to the round pen, and so it's been kind of backwards of what you do, but it's been great.
The horse, he's going to be a nice gelding.
Oh, I'd like to have him home.
Yeah, really a nice deal. I'll tell you what, this has been a special deal. I mean, you're ending kind of a big run on clinics and everything, if I'm correct.
Well, this is, I'm going for about 2 weeks here from California to Texas. Mm-hmm. And but I've been doing this since 1999. I saw a poster of you and I doing a clinic in 1999 in Carthage, Missouri.
I can remember
and
that.
It's been nonstop since till now. And now my wife and I, we took a job on a ranch, and I'm going to manage a ranch, so I'm going to go on the road 20 days a year, so my time is going to be limited.
But you might mention to our listeners or viewers out there, you are going to be on the Dream Ride.
I am coming on the Dream Ride this year.
That's good. I'll tell you what, I never get tired of watching you start colts or working with a horse. And I tell you, it's a fact that you can learn something every time you watch someone's around a horse.
Well, you can learn things you don't want to do or things you do want to do. So either way, I think folks are getting a benefit, even if they don't like what I do.
I love the comment about too much groundwork, and it can kind of work on that horse. And I think we got to trust a horse.
Yeah, and you got to be careful when you say that. Too much of the wrong kind of groundwork. That's really bad. But what's right for the human sometimes isn't right for the horse.
I'm getting to think when we were kids, you just went and hopped on them.
That's how my sister and I grew up, and all our neighbors, and we never had any trouble. We'd watch a John Wayne movie or the Cowboys and Indians movie, and we'd go try to do what they did on the movie.
That was it.
So much fun.
It's so much fun sitting here, like I said, on a Saturday afternoon, watching you. This is the third time now. Will you be doing this with the horse tomorrow?
Yep, I got it tomorrow too.
It makes it really nice to see the progression that you had on this horse and everything.
And tomorrow I'm going to use him in my cattle handling demonstration.
And that's really a special event. And we're talking about the effective stockmanship. And don't you see that more than ever as far as folks wanting to work cattle and livestock as far as with their horses?
Yeah, people have. We've done the round pen, we've done the arena. Now people are wanting to step up and go even farther. And stockmanship is the total horsemanship and cattle handling. When you start being able to handle a cow on your horse, you're really getting somewhere.
What'd you think with the Ozark Spring Roundup now kind of bringing all the not only horses but cattle into the program?
Oh yeah, I walked through the cow barns a day and the rodeo, and of course, me being a ranch manager, I went and looked at all the equipment.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
might be a sale.
It's a great.
And I tell you what, how about Michael Richardson? I mean, I got to thinking there needs to be a deal. You guys work, you're kind of like G and Haw together.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. We terrorize each other. And every time I watch Michael, I get inspired to do less.
That's really good. I tell you what.
Inspired to do less, and that's something for you folks to think about.
Well, I tell you what, I'm pumped up. I'm going to get on old Fred when I get home. Maybe warm him up a little bit.
Oh, no, do it. Let's see what kind of, act like you're a kid.
I put my look at old horse in the eye, and I tell you what I see a reflection of myself. That's it. Having a great time here at the Ozark Spring Roundup here in Springfield, Missouri. Just a great time down here. Thank you so much for being a part of Better Horses TV. And we'll see you in September.
You got it.
You care about your animals and feeding them the best. And that's where Purina's local Kansas City dealers step in, providing you experience, knowledge, service, and advice. Purina feed dealers are people who believe in community involvement and who believe in you. They have a passion for the feed industry and are committed to helping customers unlock the potential of every animal. If you are looking for a trusted source for your animals, look no further than your local Purina feed dealer, your partner in animal care.
Better Horses with Ernie Rodina is brought to you by your friends at Merck Animal Health.
Ernie, it's so good to have you here with us today. Thank you for letting us be a part of Better Horses TV. I've got this horse today that I want to talk about how I can use my lateral movement. I can work on my turns going down the trail to help this horse find a little better head carriage where his head's not so high. So this horse here has a habit of really elevating his head, and he wants his head up in my lap pretty much all the time. So Ernie, as I'm riding this horse down the trail, I find myself working on just simple maneuvers where maybe right here I'm going to tip his nose right, step his hip over, and then right here I'm just going to ask him to kind of step his front end through. And what I'm hoping this horse will do, Ernie, is I'm hoping he'll learn how to step and follow my hands and not elevate his head so much. I don't want to feel like I'm riding him down the trail and I'm trying to force his head down with my reins all the time. I want him to kind of find it on his own. So I'll just lead him through here. And here's what I noticed. This horse, I think this horse struggles with the fact that when I try to move his shoulder or his hip over, he struggles with not elevating his head, because to him, when I push with one leg, it's always meant speed up. Nobody's really worked with this horse enough to get his mind focused on moving a body part lateral like that right there. That's so big for this horse to just find his way to step those front feet across. It's not real refined at this point, but to get that horse to step like that right there. And the more I do this, Ernie, so here I'm going to push the hip over a little bit. Here I'm going to step the front end through. The more I work on that, I feel like the more this horse relaxes and the easier it is for his head to come down, because his mind is a little bit more engaged in what I'm doing. He's not just focused on everything is go, go, go. So I think as I'm finding myself riding this horse down the trail, I'm just gonna back him up here. Here I'm just gonna step his front end across. See, that was pretty good. I'm just kind of looking at his head right here to see, could I get him to step lateral with that shoulder there without elevating his head so much. And as he gets better at that step, things get so much more relaxed from the withers forward. So I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna trail ride on my horse, I'm gonna enjoy my horse outside, but I'm also gonna make use of the fact that when I'm headed back to the barn, back to the trailer, and my horse is drawn, he's being pulled by that magnet, as I'm going back, just simple things like this. You're just turning. This time I'm gonna actually stop him, back him up a couple steps, and roll him into that turn. Same thing here to the right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop him there, pretend like the barn's behind me, back him up a few steps, step him into that turn there. You see how his head actually came down as he stepped into that turn. Instead of riding down the trail trying to force your horse's head down like this, get their mind engaged. Start working on more lateral control with the shoulder and the hip. Teach that horse how to follow a feel and get them where they're not so stuck in the fact that anytime you push with any leg, even if it's just one, they're always thinking forward. I hope that's something, Ernie, that your viewers can use. Thank you again so much for letting me be a part of Better Horses TV. Thank you for all you do for the equine industry. And if any of your viewers would like more information about what we do, they can follow us on Kerry Coon Horsemanship, our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or go directly to kerrycoon.com. Thanks again, Ernie.
One of the questions we get asked a lot is, can the CSI pad be used with a treeless saddle? It absolutely can be. The only difference is going to be, we have that 2.5-inch contour in our pad, and a lot of the treeless saddles only have a 1-inch contour. So normally I tell people about 3 fingers is where I want to see your saddle skirt end at, right in this area. With the treeless, I'm going to tell you to go back a full hand, because that's going to allow the contours to marry up better between the saddle and the saddle pad. Because if you're too far forward with your treeless saddle, it's going to want to push it down in the front end and pop it up in the back, and it's not going to look right. So just remember, move your saddle further back on the pad, but it's great with your treeless saddle, and it will help to eliminate the soreness the horses get, especially right across in here.
This segment is brought to you by CSI Saddle Pads.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. We're at Countryside Vet Clinic with one of the best vets I feel around, Dr. Fred Gardner. Doc, thanks for being on Better Horses TV.
Well, it's good to be with you, Ernie, and it's a good time to be in the horse business. You know, spring's just around the corner, and so it's a good time to get back active with the horses again.
Believe it or not, it is spring, but we're standing out here, probably don't have a heavy enough jacket on right now, but it's been a tough spring. And sometimes it gets easy when you don't have this warm weather, you forget about vaccinations. And right now, this is something that we got as horse owners need to be thinking about our vaccination program, working with our vet.
It is. It's time to get them immunized. Warm weather is going to be here next week, and you know, there's some disease problems that can be prevented if we use proper immunization. You know, the American Association of Equine Practitioners has a set of core vaccines that they recommend, which would include eastern and western strains of sleeping sickness and West Nile virus, which are all mosquito borne, and so that's going to be with us in a little bit. We need to get immunization in place. Also includes tetanus and rabies, and there are other things that can be included depending on the horse's level of exposure. Influenza, rhinopneumonitis, streptococcus. Need to work that out with your veterinarian.
Well, and I'll tell you right now, this is kind of a special horse. This is your horse. Let's talk a little bit about this horse.
Well, this is Jack, and we've owned him together. I came out of your mare. and we put him in. We had a little trouble with him when he's a 2-year-old. He developed a large cyst on his medial condyle of his right femur, and so he developed lameness from that. We sent him for surgery and had that repaired, and now as a 4-year-old he's sound and doing very well, and he's made a really nice horse. So some of these problems that develop have a good ending, and it did for this horse, Jack.
This horse got a nice disposition, and you could go on, and he might go ahead and finish out as a reiner, but you're thinking about ranch riding and everything from that standpoint. He'd be a good prospect for that, or just maybe trail riding.
Well, he's got a lot of potential for a number of different areas. You know, he, due to his injury or his a problem, you know, we've kind of missed the reining futurity and some of the big events. So I think that we'll probably look at some ranch riding or something like that for this horse.
But he's a son of Lena's, he's a son out of a mare that's by Lena's Ride On. He's an own son of Wimpy's Little Step. He's got the breeding to do it all.
He does, and so we'll probably show him some cows this spring and see how he does with that, and we might rope on him just a little and give him an opportunity in several different areas and see what he really likes.
We want you to, as far as work with your vets on getting on a good vaccination program, and I'll tell you what, get on a vaccination program and work with them, and also let's not forget worming.
That's true. You know, the parasites are most active here in the spring when it gets warm and moist, and so you need to have a good deworming program and schedule set up with your veterinarian to control that risk as well.
We're looking at a different procedure. I'm here with Dr. Gardner. Doc, what are you going to show us today?
Well, today we're going to examine this mare that belongs to Dr. Tom Jensen from Olathe. She's a brood mare, raises babies for him, and she's raised some really good ones, and he'd like one more. And so we're going to do a transrectal ultrasound on her today to see if she's ready to be bred. And so what we do is just take the ultrasound probe. It just shoots out sound waves from that, and the fluid portions in her tissue absorb them, and the other tissue bounces back, so we get a black and white image, much like they use for humans now to look at babies and many other things as well. And so we'll
get a chance to see this follicle on your machine over your ultrasound plate.
Well, we hope so. We'll just see where this mare is in her heat cycle, and with mares we like for that follicle to get out over 40 millimeters before we breed them, and then we have a good chance of pregnancy and getting a foal from the mare.
And if the follicle's the right size, you'll then order the semen from the breeding farm and have it here in the next day or two.
That's correct. This mare we're going to breed with natural service to a local stallion, but we only want to inseminate her one time because it increases the chances of pregnancy. And we can see on her screen that her uterus is got a lot of endometrial edema there. She's in heat, and so we'll look and see what her follicle size is. And there's our ovary, and you can see the big black spot is a follicle on that ovary.
So would you say she's getting pretty close to you getting her bred?
Yes, we'll measure that. I'll put it on freeze here. It says it's 40 millimeters, so in another day that'll grow about 3 more millimeters. So about tomorrow evening or Monday morning we'll get this mare bred and get a little baby on the way.
Your buddy Ron once said he could install your ceiling fan. He couldn't. And that one time, Ron said another chili dog was a good idea? Yeah, it wasn't. So when Ron said you'd never afford a John Deere tractor, you knew better. Now, Ron does too. The E-Series, legendary John Deere quality, unexpected low price.
Stop by and see Heritage Tractor at one of its 9 locations for your John Deere and Featherlight trailer needs. HeritageTractor.com.
In a natural, free roaming situation, horses graze nearly constantly throughout the day and night. When feeding horses in stables, it's ideal to try to mimic this feeding behavior. Horses in stabled conditions should be fed their hay so they can pick at it continuously between feedings. Visit our website at stanleyforage.com under Nutrition, then Nutritional Resources to help transition your horse from winter to spring in the coming weeks.
This segment is brought to you by your independent Purina dealers.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy and welcome to Better Horses TV. I'm out here at Countryside Vet Clinic and they're a very versatile vet clinic. We got some of the best equine vets and we got some of the best cattle vets. And had a chance to team up a neighbor right here. We got Curtis Morgan and H&M Morgan's down there, well known in the Angus business, and you're working some bulls here, and I just want to take you off the side and congratulate you on what a great job you guys do. It goes way back to your grandpa, what you do with your bulls.
Well, thank you, Ernie. Yeah, my grandfather Henry Morgan started Angus business in 1945, and we still have bulls for sale, registered Angus, and we have 18-month-old bulls and some yearling bulls for sale. We advertise in Farm Talk, and come down and give us a look and look at our bulls.
You used to have an organized sale, but now it's all sale by just private treaty.
Yes, sir. We just do private treaty now, but that's all. That's how you'll come take a look.
Curtis, what's the secret? You guys are so successful in the Angus world like that. What's the secret of you do such a great job of raising the cattle?
We think it's a lot in their mother, and then going out and finding a good bull. But we focus on calving ease, and that's probably our main focus, and good milk quality.
H&M Angus, we're talking Greeley, Kansas, down there. You yourself live down in Arma, but Greeley, Kansas, rich in tradition in raising Angus bulls. Thank you so much. The best way to get a hold of you, how's the best way to get a hold of you?
Just give me a call at 913-837-0166.
Curtis, thanks for taking time out. Even though they're bulls, they still got a place in Better Horses TV.
Yes, sir.
Our horses work hard for us every day, so nutrition is a major concern. I've relied on Purina horse feed products for over 12 years. Purina is always on the leading edge of research and nutrition innovation, and with their feed guard system, I know I can rely on the safety and quality of their products from coast to coast. No matter what you do with your horse, Purina has the right product for you. Visit horse.purinamills.com or find them on Facebook for more information.
This segment is brought to you by CSI Saddle Pads.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV, the Hardy Grub segment. I'm here with Mark Sheftel, Mark, and we got a good group here tonight. We got the Brummels, we got Dixie Brummel, we got Robin and Gerald Lutz here from Garnett. We got a really great deal. Tell us what we got going on.
Well, you know when they roll the credits and they say all the Purina dealers and the credits. Well, this is the Purina dealers. Roger's usually with us, but now his sister Robin and Mom.
These are the ones behind the scenes. These are the ones that get it done.
That's right. They get it done. Okay, so they requested another surf and turf, so we're doing something a little different. We're doing peppercorn steaks, and to do peppercorn steaks, I got to do them on a flat iron because if I do them on the grill, all the peppercorns will fall off of them and fall through. We're doing fried taters. One of the secret to fried taters, you got to fry the taters first. And we're going to add all the other ingredients to them in just a second. The turf part of it, we got these beautiful big shrimp. We kind of pre-cooked little bacon wrapped around the shrimp, seasoned with Old Bay seasoning, and we're going to cook them in the oven right now. Oven's ready to go. And then since it's kind of a Brummel deal, we're cooking Donna Brummel's famous Napa cabbage salad, which is to die for. If you've never had it.
I tried the dressing, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it goes on the Napa cabbage with all of our other little goodies, and it's really good stuff. So we're getting ready to do the taters now. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go, but I'm telling you, we forgot to talk. I think you probably, like usual, you got a good dessert.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Tina's been working on these cookie brownies with chocolate pudding to go over the top of them, which is really awesome.
Low
Can't
cal.
wait. Absolutely,
Yeah,
just like the peppercorn sauce I'm going to make here in a minute. I love to make sauces. This is one of my favorite sauces
Hey, well,
to make.
let's get this thing going. We'll come back. We'll
Okay,
go eat it, and we'll keep it running.
Potatoes are about half cooked, so we're going to add the red peppers and the onions. Your favorite jalapeno peppers.
There we go.
And a little green peppers.
Well, let's get it. We'll get the finished product here in just a little bit.
Yep, we're about ready to go.
No matter what discipline of riding you do, training, showing, and everyday stress is hard on your horse's legs. Decra Veterinary Products is a leading lameness company that brought you Osphos. Osphos is a clodronate injection, an intramuscular bisphosphonate to help control the clinical signs of navicular syndrome in horses 4 years and older. Ask your veterinarian if Osphos is right for your horse. Decra Veterinary Products is a proud sponsor of The American.
This segment is brought to you by your independent Purina dealers.
Hey, welcome back to Better Horses TV's Hardy Grub. We've had a great time. Mark, what a meal. And we got our special guest here. We're talking about Robin and Gerald Lutz from Garnett, Kansas. She makes it happen at Brummel Farm Service. And you're out there at Rutgers Farms. Mm-hmm. Thanks so much for joining us, Mark. Tell us about the final presentation. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was really easy to put together after we got started and all come together pretty good. We did a peppercorn steak, some of Roger's strips, because they just work better for doing this deal. And I had to cook them on that flat iron thing to keep the peppercorns on it. Made a little peppercorn sauce with some brandy and big flame up. Looked really cool on TV, I hope. Made Donna Brummel's Napa cabbage salad.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and then my version of fried potatoes. You just can't go wrong with fried
I hope
potatoes.
you didn't see, I got a little confession. I was in that salad a little bit.
Little bit.
Cooking, and then the potatoes are the most unbelievable potatoes I've ever eaten.
Hey, did you sample any of Tina's dessert while you were sneaking around?
I won't do that. In fact, I'll tie into it later. But meals is great. What do you guys think of the meal?
It looks great.
Well, we're so glad that you joined us on the Hardy Grub deals.
Thank
You're
you.
way overdue getting up here.
Yes, way overdue.
Yes, I apologize. That was my fault.
No apologies necessary.
Folks, we're glad you tuned in to Better Horses TV. Keep telling your friends about it. Go to our website, betterhorses.com. Until next week, happy trails, and always ride for the brand.
Ride for the brand. And ride with Dixie, too.
Ride with Dixie, yeah, Dixie.